Welcome in. Thanks for joining us for the WHHI Daily News, where we strive to bring you more Lowcountry news more often. I'm Bob Stevens. Looks like the state's law enforcement agencies now want to jump in and help the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. The Department of Public Safety has a 287G task force agreement with ICE pending that would allow select officers to interrogate people suspected of being in the country illegally and detain them, even if they're not accused of committing any state or local crimes. Beaufort County, of course, is already one of a number of South Carolina counties with 287G agreements with ICE, as is the State Law Enforcement Division. The state would like to have 30 officers across the state's transport police and highway patrol trained under the partnership. Opponents say it will make South Carolina a speed trap state, trying to hit immigration quotas, and it'll hurt tourism. You send your kid off to college and the first thing that happens is an active shooter situation. Students at USC and Columbia faced that over the weekend. They were ordered to shelter in place for a few hours while police investigated an unconfirmed report of an active shooter near the library. Turns out there was nothing to the call. The all clear was given soon after. There were a couple of minor injuries in the evacuation of the library at USC. Similar calls have been reported at Villanova and the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga in the past week. USCB's men's basketball coach still has his job after a DUI arrest a couple of weeks ago. The school says it'll keep details of the incident in-house. 33-year-old Ron Fadala was pulled over after leaving a Hilton Head brew house and refused a breathalyzer test. His first court date is November 1st, 2 weeks before the season opener. It'll be his third season at USCB, the school's first as a full member of NCAA Division II. And remember the ugly dismissal of Beaufort County Administrator Eric Greenway 25 months ago over sloppy procurement and hiring practices? Well, the two state-level ethics complaints against Greenway have now been dropped. Greenway was also alleged to have harassed the county wellness director that he had hired for a position he had created for her. He's still being investigated for criminal misconduct. No updates on where those cases stand. Greenway says he's never been contacted by the state during the investigation. And there's got to be a place in whatever heaven you believe in for Beaufort icon Dr. Elijah Washington, who not only brought health care to so many in rural Beaufort County, delivering more than 10,000 babies during his career, he then became a pastor later in life, meeting the spiritual needs of the same folks. He was laid to rest Monday at Beaufort National Cemetery with full military honors after passing this past week at the age of 83. He served in the U.S. Navy in the 70s, returning to work for the Beaufort Jasper Comprehensive Health Services in rural northern Beaufort County that now bears his name. He was the only OB/GYN in the clinic for nearly a decade. He eventually became chief of staff at Beaufort Memorial Hospital, and then later in life, he served for many years at First African Baptist Church on St. Helena Island. For more details on these stories and other Lowcountry news, we invite you to visit the sources listed on your screen. Plenty more still to come on the WHHI Daily News. We're going to get heavily into sports. First weekend of the public school schedule has been completed. We'll get you an update on that and talk to the guys in charge of promoting all that at Bluffton High when we come back on the WHHI Daily News.